This is room 44. Close the door, turn off the lights, and don't try to leave. Not until the end. I wasn't supposed to be there. I was meant to stay in a roadside inn 2 hours out of town, but the GPS rerouted me. Construction, storm, accident, something. And I ended up in a place I'd never seen on the map. Hotel Vesper, a tall building shrouded in mist, looming like a memory you can't quite place. It looked old but untouched, like time refused to pass within its walls. There were no cars in the lot, no other guests in the lobby. Only a woman at the front desk with the kind of smile you wear when you're lying. "Welcome, Mr. Hall. We've been expecting you." I blinked. "How did you—" "Room 727, top floor. Keys ready." She handed me a physical key. Brass, heavy, old-fashioned. I didn't tell her my name. I hadn't even opened my wallet. But I took the key. Room 727 was pristine, frozen in a mid-century design that felt staged. Clean but unlived. There was no TV, no phone. The window overlooked nothing, just thick, unrelenting fog. When I tried to open it, the glass wouldn't budge, nor would the door once it shut behind me. I told myself it was just old construction. Quirky, creepy, sure, but explainable. Then I noticed the photograph. A black and white picture framed on the nightstand. A family of 3 standing in front of this very hotel. A man, a woman, and a boy. The man looked just like me. Same haircut, same eyes, same tired smile. But the photo was dated 1973. I tried calling downstairs, but my phone had no signal, no Wi-Fi, no bars. I walked back to the hallway only to find it had changed. The red carpet was now dark green. The wallpaper had an ivy pattern it didn't have before. And when I looked at the room number, 728. Mine had been 727. But the door was gone. My room no longer existed. That's when I heard it. Footsteps, heavy, deliberate, coming from around the corner. I backed into a dim alcove as someone passed. Not a guest, not staff. It was me. Same clothes, same posture, but his face was blank. Like wax. He walked by without seeing me, turned the corner, and vanished. I ran, down flights of stairs, but they all led back to the same hallway. Each time I tried to exit, I returned to a different version of the 7th floor. Sometimes the carpet was soaked with water. Sometimes the walls pulsed like skin. Once all the doors were covered in mirrors, each one reflecting a different version of me. Older, younger, dead. One looked straight at me and said, "It's your turn to forget." That's when I woke up, back in 727, drenched in sweat. On the desk, a new photo. This time just the woman and the boy. The man, me, was gone. I pried open the nightstand drawer. Inside was a thick, leather-bound book. A guest log. All names were written in the same ink, the same hand. Hundreds of entries. Each one ended with the same word. Removed. Except mine. My entry had just one word. Pending. I flipped to the back cover. Scribbled there, barely legible. They come here to forget. But not all of us want to be forgotten. I slammed the book shut. And noticed something else. The man in the hallway mirror, the one who looked like me, was now standing inside the reflection, staring at me, grinning. There was no phone in the room. But it rang anyway. Old rotary dial on the desk. I answered it, hand shaking. "Don't let them take you," a voice whispered. Female, raspy, familiar. "Who is this?" "They're going to replace you, like they did me. Check the closet." The line went dead. I turned toward the closet door, slowly pulled it open, and found a pile of clothes. Mine, but not the ones I was wearing. These were older, dirtier, blood on the collar. Something fell from the pocket, a Polaroid. It was me, tied to the hotel bed, screaming. The timestamp, tomorrow, 3:03 a.m. That night, I didn't sleep. At 3:03 a.m., I sat in the corner watching the bed, waiting for whatever was supposed to happen. That's when the door creaked open. 5 people walked in, all identical to me, all silent. They surrounded the bed and stared at the empty sheets. One of them turned, saw me in the corner, and whispered, "You're not supposed to be awake." Then they lunged. I ran for the window and jumped. I hit the pavement hard, but didn't die. I wasn't in pain. I was back in the lobby. No blood, no broken glass. Just the front desk, and her. "Welcome, Mr. Hall," the woman said again. "We've been expecting you." I looked down. I was holding the brass key to room 727. But something was different. My hands older, wrinkled, my clothes a hotel uniform. She smiled wider. "You're on staff now." I tried to run out the front door, but it led to the elevator. The buttons only went up. Each time I pressed one, I ended up at a different guest room. And in each room was a version of me. One in a straitjacket, one whispering into a phone, one crying on the floor. Eventually, I was sent to clean a room. When I entered, there was a man sitting on the bed, pale, sweating. He looked up and asked, "What is this place?" I wanted to say, "I don't know." But instead I smiled and said, "Welcome to Hotel Vesper. We've been expecting you." There is no checkout. Only repetition, only roles. The staff are former guests. The guests are replacements. Each time a guest breaks the rules, tries to escape, remembers too much, resists being rewritten, they become part of the building. The wallpaper is made of memory. The carpet soaks in forgotten lives. The windows never show the outside because there is no outside. Only Hotel Vesper and room 727. I don't remember my real name anymore, but I know how this ends. He'll try to run, he'll jump, and wake up in the lobby, holding the key. If you ever find yourself on an unfamiliar road, and a hotel appears that wasn't on the map, keep driving. Because once you enter room 727, you don't check out. You become part of the staff. Subscribe, so you never miss what's waiting in the dark. Like the video to feed the shadows. Share it with someone who thinks hotels are safe. And tell us where you're listening from in the comments.